The Man with the Yin Yang Eyes. Season 2. Episode 5. Hi, I'm Lucius Gregory. I haven't seen you guys for quite a long time, eh? The last time I was in the middle of telling the story, I disappeared again. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. This time I come back to continue the unfinished story. Where did you talk about that time? Well, that's right, at the point where I just touched the girl's soul. Suddenly my mind was a bit dizzy. I just blinked. The scene in front of me changed. At first, it was a bit blurry, then gradually become apparent. The girl was walking with another boy. It seemed that the two children were on their way home from school. Suddenly a car appears and stopped beside the two kids. I see two big, bald guys who just got out of a car, and they look very familiar. That's right, those tattoos on their bodies, that look, they're the guys that Big D and I are stalking right now. Who are you? What are you guys doing? And why do you abduct me? Let go of me. Next, I saw the two guys abduct a boy who was walking with the restaurant owner's granddaughter. It seems they want to kidnap the boy. What are you doing? Release my friend. When they abduct the boy, the girl froze for a moment because it suddenly happened that she did not react in time. By the time the girl reacted, the two delinquents had already carried the boy back to the car. The girl ran to chase them while running and shouting to let the boy go. Stop! Release my friend! She caught up with them, then pulled one of them by the hand and screamed. The delinquent was suddenly pulled, so he stopped and turned his back to look at the girl. What a noisy brat! Her voice was not loud, but she persisted and refused to let go of the delinquent. That man glanced and saw a police car nearby. He feared she would attract the police attention. So he quickly covered her mouth and pulled her back to the car, then forcefully stuffed her in the car. Why did you bring this brat up here? The car too crowded. She keeps screaming. I'm afraid she'll pulling the police over. The accomplice, who was holding onto the boy, suddenly saw his accomplices dragging the girl along with the boy they arrested earlier into the car, frowned and asked, "But is this girl part of our plans? It's too noisy. Let me out. You guys release us." The girl was still struggling and screaming, which made the already cramped car even more suffocating, and the delinquents found it extremely uncomfortable. Shut the fuck up. The guy sitting in the front seat turned around and shouted. Not letting the girl continue to speak, he reached out and grabbed her small neck and squeezed it. The girl was strangled so she could no longer make a sound. Tears and snot run down the little girl's face, looking dirty and extremely pitiful. At first, the girl struggled. Gradually, her pink face turned blue-violet and then white. The delinquent didn't exert too much force, but she couldn't bear to be strangled by such a big strong man, and it didn't take long before she died. Finally, shut up. The thugs in the car did not react or fear anything. It seemed that this murder was too familiar to them, no more than killing an ant. The car continued to drive through the ice on the way to where they needed to go. The car carrying them stopped in front of a house. They stopped the car and got off, and one by one, they entered, carrying the boy who had fainted and the girl's dead body. Big brother, how should this child's dead body be handled? Just put it in the freezer over there first, to prevent it from spoiling. The rest will be considered later. It turned out that the guy who strangled her to death was the ringleader. One of the other two asked him how to dispose of the body. Then I saw them put her body in a freezer in the corner. The other thug listened to the instructions, brought the girl's body to the freezer in the corner, opened the cabinet, and threw her body inside. The body of the poor girl kept getting colder and colder and finally froze inside the refrigerator. Did you have that seizure again? Please, be calm. The scene before my eyes gradually disappeared. I heard Big D's voice resound. It turned out that when I saw that memory, I couldn't help but approach the big brother, then cursed something. Big D saw that the situation was not good and said a few words to distract him. Let's go. But it seems that the big brother doesn't want to spare us. He turned to look at us with evil eyes. Big D saw that and hurriedly pulled me out. What are you pulling me for? He killed that girl. You want to fight them here and now? I couldn't accept the scene just now. I wanted to beat that guy but forgot how weak I am. Fortunately, Big D still held me back at that time. The big brother looked at us. He seemed suspicious. I saw him walk out of the bar, then took out a gun. Get in the car, hurry up. They're coming after us. Before I could say anything next, Big D quickly pushed me inside the car. The big brother took the pistol, aimed it at me, and pulled the trigger. Fortunately, the moment the bullet left the barrel, I was safely inside the car. Big D quickly started the car and drove away. Behind us is the car of the thugs from earlier. They are chasing closely. Big D is speeding up, and I hope he can cut them off. They have guns. Be careful. I looked in the rearview mirror and saw a guy leaning out of the car, his hand holding a gun and aiming. He fired several bullets in a row. The bullet hit the rearview mirror, causing the glass to shatter. The sound of the bullet sounded extremely harsh, making my heart tremble. Damned. Are they really going to kill people? How? Have you ever been afraid? I'm not joking with you. They're a notorious criminal gang, not just a bunch of common delinquents. Besides, in this free country, it's unlikely that anyone will intervene until you are shot dead by them. The last shot was indeed successful, making me panic. My scalp is numb all over. Normally, I only see scenes like this in movies, and I never thought I would become the main character like this one day. They continuously shot several times at the car, causing Big D to lose control and crash into the car next to it. Fortunately, we were okay after the crash. Damn it, I'm so unlucky. Make sure you keep your balance. I have to accelerate faster, or they'll punch holes in our bodies. Big D saw that the situation was not good and decided to take a risk to rush faster on the busy road. Our car wriggled and wriggled on the road. Behind, the thugs' cars were still following closely. The big brother aimed a few shots, and the bullets passed through the car's glass, penetrated the inside. Fortunately, we dodged it. Oh my God, I pray we can go home safely. It's too scary. They won't let us go. I was wrong. I don't want to die yet. I was so scared that I cried and pissed my pant a bit. Tears and snot filled my face. They shot the car to the point that it was almost destroyed, leaving no healthy spot left. Luckily they haven't hit the wheel yet. Otherwise, it will be a dead end for us. Suddenly, they missed a bullet, causing the car next to it to suddenly turn around and hit their car. Looks like they're in trouble. Lucky. God indeed loves us. They have to solve that problem, and they can't chase us anymore. Big D and I stretched out nerves when we heard a loud crash. We turned around and saw the car of the thug have another car crash. Fortunately, thanks to that collision, Big D and I got home safely. Otherwise, we would have been lying in the grave smelling the dirt. Who the fuck do you think you are to fight those guys? I warned you before, and you're so impulsive. Luckily our life isn't over yet. Sitting safely in the house, my whole body was still shaking with fear. Big D drank several glasses of wine continuously to regain his composure, then turned to give me a lesson. They'll soon find us out. I must act one step ahead of them, or else we can't live here anymore. After lecturing me for a while, Big D suddenly thought of something. Then I saw him take out his phone and dial down a series of numbers. Big D, who are you calling? Of course, I am calling the police. I saw him calling someone and asked, Big D said those thugs might be searching everywhere to finish us off, so only reporting to the police can ensure our safety. Hello, is that Miss Valentine? Long time no see. How are you, Miss Valentine? After a few seconds, it seemed that someone on the other end of the line picked up. Big D's tone sounds soft, like flattery. Valentine? Familiar names too. Well, I remember, was the beautiful policewoman that I have met at Mr. Parker's house. Oh well, I have important work to do. Say what you want, or else I'm off. Hey, I'm serious here. I want to report to the police 2 cases, kidnapping and murder. At first, Big D also used a joking tone, but it seems that the policewoman did not have the patience to spare with him. Then I saw Big D seriously talking about the incident that we discovered. How dare I joke about these things? I don't want to eat prison's meal. It seems that the policewoman doesn't believe Big D's words. I heard him raise his voice slightly. Yes, everything I say is the truth. Well, if I give the police such important information, is there a reward? Just a little bit of a joke, Miss Valentine, don't be angry. Man, Big D is really in the mood. Even the stork face to face with the police. Okay, then let's meet at the cafe next to the police station. I'll be there in about an hour. Goodbye, my goddess. Finally, the phone call came to an end. It looks like Big D this time no longer seems scared as he was. When he talked to the beautiful policeman, his face brightened up. Big D, this is not the time for asked about reward. Ah, so you were wondering about that? Big D just heard me say that, so he replied, what a young man who hasn't experienced life. Whatever you do, you have to earn a little. Save up so that you can get rich quickly. Big D started talking to me about his get-rich theory. Big D, you can quickly change your nickname to Rich D. I have the heart to show you how to make money, and you still laugh at me? I teased Big D, then I saw that he seemed tense, then I kept my mouth shut. Indeed, young man, everything needs money in this day and later on. Don't think that I'm telling you useless things and then using that tone on me. It looks like I hit Big D's reverse scale. Well, I had to wave my hand to make peace, but I don't know what to do. Stop it. Just been worrying about standing and talking for nearly 20 minutes. Hurry up, or you'll be late. Okay, I'll get in the car right now. Hurry up, hurry up. If you're late, my goddess will get mad at me again. I can only sigh in frustration. It seems that Big D really likes that policewoman, both likes and fears. The car sped along the road. After about 30 minutes, it stopped in front of a cafe shop. This must be the place where the beautiful policewoman had an appointment. Hello, Miss Valentine, sorry to keep you waiting. As soon as he entered the cafe, Big D immediately saw the beautiful policewoman. His eyes are sharp. That policewoman was already waiting for us, probably just arrived because it wasn't too late for the appointment. If you have something to say it quickly. I have a lot of work to do. The beautiful policewoman held a burning cigarette in her hand. She told Big D to quickly report the incident, probably hurry back to the police station. Anyway, now is not the time to get off work. Is it possible that the police are investigating a disappearance case? The time was about a month ago. The missing objects are 2 children about 7 or 8 years old, a boy and a girl, right? Big D spoke slowly. When the policewoman heard that, her face suddenly changed. How do you know that? She was quite agitated. She jumped up and grabbed Big D's collar and hurriedly asked. Big D doesn't seem surprised by this reaction either. Slowly, don't be in a hurry. Let me finish it first. Why are you always this aggressive? This is my brother's student. He has a pair of yin and yang eyes that can see the dead so that he can see through this case. Big D quickly pointed his finger at me and explained. After that, we began to describe the whole process. From the time I discovered the soul of the other girl, to the time I saw the criminal behavior of the other gang, then to the fact that we followed them, stalking then almost killed by them. How ridiculous is this thing about seeing the dead? How can I believe it? Then we have to prove a bit. This story sounds fictional, so it's normal not to believe it. The three of us walked out of the cafe shop together, Jill Valentine waiting to see how we proved it. I told her that, in front of this cafe shop, there was a car accident before, but this case for some reason was hidden. Only the police and the two sides who collided knew. The man is crossing the street, then. I described the figure of the person who died in that car accident to the policewoman. This incident happened before I was here, and since it was hidden, even Big D doesn't know about it either, so I can use this case to prove my ability.